So I might take us on a little exploring trip, even though I don't have my tripod. I can still do it by hand. There's a lot of interesting places on the lake. It's always fun just to go and look and see what you can find in various different spots. And I'm not in a hurry to get out of the water. I'm actually enjoying it quite a lot. Honey Babe's at the house with the dogs, and she's going to be dancing tonight. Robert, who is the guy that does the teaching in the dance class, his computer broke down on him, and so he's having to pull music in from his phone from YouTube, which works, but you know, he sets up shows and things on his computer, and he's going to need to be able to get to that stuff. So I think he might have to leave this weekend and go down somewhere, try to find a computer or something like that. But he's dancing right now. She's home with the doggies. We tend to try to stay home with the doggies lately because Buddy has a bad habit of chewing up things. And sometimes when we leave, like when we go to church on Sunday morning, we got a little doggy crate and we put him in that. I call it doggy jail. We put him in doggy jail. Honey Baby don't like me to say that. She said it sounds mean, but I think doggy jail's okay, because you can call it putting him in the doggy crate or putting him in doggy jail, still in the same place. It's just like you know, if you call a jailhouse your weekend hangout, it's still the jailhouse. But anyway, he'll grow out of that eventually, and he'll learn. You know, when I went out the other day, when I came back in, he was chewing the cap off an ink pen, and I scolded him a little bit. Look right there. This is what I'm talking about. Interesting things you see. Look how that cave worked its way up under the bank right there. I mean, ain't that cool? You could climb in there. Of course, the bank might cave in on you, but man, right here's a part where it washed the roots out from under a tree, and the tree fell over, still growing. We've got a little beach here, and there's a big piece of driftwood on it. Looks like a fat man fell down and his legs are sticking up in the air. There's so many interesting things to see. And this is, man, y'all see that, what I'm talking about there? One end of it looks like a dragon's head sticking up. Not too bad looking a beach right there. That might be a half decent little beach to swim at. Everything is always in the process, you know, like this tree. I don't know how long it's been since that tree fell in the water there, but you know, at one point it was standing, and at one point it's down in the water, and another one will grow up on top of it there. And all kind of neat things are happening all the time. All the time. I made some videos the other day. I was one of them mornings like I'm going to do tomorrow, if the weather lets me, where I went out and I just set the little reflector over there. Somebody had that tied on a tree, I bet, in one of these fishing areas to tell them how to get in and out of there. But I shot some video the other day, and I found some music on the computer. I tried to figure out who it belonged to, because I was going to offer to buy or rent a piece of it to put on that video, but I couldn't find anybody, so I stuck it on there. Usually if you pick up a piece of video and someone owns it, some kind of copyright thing will come up, and it'll automatically, you know, give them, if you make any money off your video, it'll automatically send it to the person that made that. So I put it up. It hadn't come out yet. We'll see if it picks it up that way. But you know, it's nice to find some decent music, and sometimes I find somebody that has some music that's willing to share it or sell it. There's a guy called Red Dog Guitars. I think he used to live down in Puerto Rico, and he used to make guitars out of wood that he found, cigar box guitars. And if y'all get a chance, go look him up. But he sent me a message on one of my videos the other day, and he said, "Look at you doing real well, and I ain't got 2 nickels to rub together." And he said he was living in Florida. I sent him a message back, gave him my Facebook name so he could contact me and we could talk a little bit. But he did some beautiful work, and he made some really beautiful cigar box guitar music. It sounds like it sounds like slide guitar music. It's just excellent. There's an old tire in the water right there. I suppose if I needed a tire, I could pull that one out. It's probably waterlogged. Look how the bank caved in right there, and the ground just sort of slooped over where it was at. That's so cool. There's so many cool things to see around the edge of a lake like this. I just ride around all day long just looking at this stuff and maybe shooting pictures of it and all. It's nice to have a boat like this that I can run it on shallow water setting and just cruise around these edges of these places that are. This place here ain't too bad, but there's places around here where it's really hard to get in and out of. Look at that piece of wood sticking out of the water there. That's pretty cool. There's a little wind out. Of course, like I said, we had that Hurricane Debbie come through, so we're still getting some of that. I bet you that'll settle down more. The sky has been really interesting the last day or two. So this area I'm going into, this is a fishing area, and it goes, according to Bill, you can go miles and miles up in there. One of these days I'm going to come out here and just head up. There's a marker set up if you go in from the other side, and you can follow them. If you follow the markers, you can go, according to him, you can go way up in there. Go in there too far today because since I don't have a tripod to set the camera on my hand, I get a hand cramp to sit and hold the camera all day. But that's just a little taste of what you'll get to look at. And if you're going to be watching my channel, now that I got my boat working good, maybe a lot of what I wind up filming is stuff like this. I just love it. I just love being out here in amongst nature. I like being in it. Right out here in it. And there ain't a better way to get in it than like this. I could get out and walk along the banks and it wouldn't be nearly as cool as being out here in the boat and floating around the edge. And man, getting this, you can see more when you get up to the bank. You can see all the interesting stuff. If you're out in the middle of the lake, you can't see nothing but water, but you get up along the edges here. Oh, there's just so much to look at, so much to see. And it's all about change, just like them trees right there. I don't know, they still got green leaves on them. Who knows how long it was that they were standing up tall. Now they're laying down in the water. Things change. The whole earth just shifts right out from under them. That's the way it is in life, That's the way life is. If you think back, if you're very old, you think back on your life, you can, tree right there, sitting under the water. You think very far back, you can think about when things was different. The whole world was different. Everything was different. People were different. The way people looked at things was different. The way things worked was all different. It's just all different. I went to work one time at a job. I won't say where, but I said the only thing in life that ever stays the same is change. And they said that's the only constant in life, is that everything changes. And if you're not a person that can deal with change, this probably ain't going to be the job for you, because here we're going to embrace change, and no matter how things change, we're gonna work with that, and we're gonna live with it, and we're gonna take it. Look way up under there, how deep that goes up under that bank. That's cool. And they said things are gonna change if you come here. If you're the kind of person that needs everything to stay the same, well, you don't want to come to work here, because we're going to embrace change. We're going to accept it as the way things are and the way things are going to be. And no matter how things are, we're going to realize that things are going to change. It's just a matter of time. And who knows how they'll change. They might change for the better, they might change for the worse, but no matter how they change, we're going to deal with it. That was a little bit of an interesting thing to have somebody say, you know. Sometimes it has certain ways of thinking that you ain't never done. You ain't never thought about things that way, but when you experience, you have somebody say it to you like that, somebody in authority, someone's going to be signing your paycheck for the next 10 or 15 years. It kind of gives you an opportunity to look at accepting some new and different ideas that you might not have ever had to think about before. Look at that big old rock up on the beach right there. And that tree. Them cedar trees are the ones that look like they got little sticker things. Cedar trees don't rot the way a pine tree will. A pine tree will rot away. A cedar tree will stay like that for years and years. That's why people used to go and cut down cedar trees and use them for fence posts, because they'd last longer than other kinds of wood. Man, look at that. It's so pretty. Just what a piece of artwork that is. You see that thing right there standing up? That's just art. You just don't see that kind of thing down at the Walmart every day. So much beauty. I just keep going. Even if my hand is going to sleep.